In this video, we're going over our 7 Innovators comp, how to play it properly and how to get that first place.
Feel the thunder! This is what the future looks like.
This comp uses the 7 Innovator trait to summon a very tanky and powerful dragon to the front line. Innovators are solid in the early and mid game, and later on offer a lot of consistency if you can reach 7. You'll need to either have an emblem or an augment to reach 7 Innovators, so this isn't something you can easily force every game. This is a default leveling comp, meaning it doesn't rely on any 3-star units, and you'll level up at a regular pace. As usual, you'll stabilize at level 7 with some sort of mid-game carry. This will differ depending on your items, but an early copy of Seraphine to hit 5 Innovators helps a lot with the mechanical bear you get. At level 8, you'll want to spend most of your gold to find Jace and hit 7 Innovators. At level 8, you'll want to run Jace, Orianna, Seraphine, Janna, Heimerdinger, Zilean, Ezreal, and Singed. Unfortunately, this comp doesn't excel at winning games. It offers a lot of consistency and can easily take down team comps that are ill-prepared to beat it. 7 Innovators take up a lot of team space, and you end up needing to run low-cost units like Ezreal or Singed. Because of this, the team is great at hitting top 4s but struggles to take first. Even still, if enemy comps aren't prepared, they won't be able to take down the mechanical dragon along with Jace and tank items. The main carry of this team is Seraphine. She is an Innovator and keeps a unit slot open by itemizing her. However, you can go with another popular carry. If you find yourself stuck with a lot of attack damage items and you can't get an augment or emblem to reach 7 Innovator, you can itemize Jhin as your main carry over Seraphine. Jhin will replace Ezreal, and you can also replace Janna with Caitlyn. You trade Scholar and Enchanter for Sniper and Enforcer, but the main benefit is making use of otherwise dead AD items. Moving on to our HEXTECH augments, Innovator Heart and Soul are relatively necessary to run this comp. You can't get these augments as your first choice on 1-4, so you'll need to make a prior to Mort dog at 3-3. You can increase your chances of hitting these augments by running more Innovator units, but it's not guaranteed. Ancient Archives is a decent substitute. It'll give you a tome of traits that you can use to find an Innovator emblem instead. Make sure to run an Innovator board for at least 1 combat round before popping your tome to improve your odds of finding an Innovator emblem. If you're committed to this comp and have an Innovator augment or emblem already, self-repair can be amazing. The mechanical units are very tanky and provide a lot of frontline, so having them come back multiple times in one fight is great. Socialite Heart and Soul can also be very useful, but it depends on where the hex is. If it's near a corner in the backline, you can place either Seraphine or Orianna on it. If it's in the front line or in the second row, you can put Jace there instead. The best spots are backline near the corners or front line near the center. In case you get a Sniper Heart, or at least 1 Sniper emblem, you'll want to replace Ezreal for Jhin and place the emblem on Orianna. This build adds a ton of damage, but you'll mainly want to play it in games where you can't hit 7 Innovators. If you want to stay more open to other comps, you can always just pick the augment that gives the most generic upgrade to your team. This will also be your only option if you aren't given any augments that are specific to help your comp. Some examples include Celestial Blessing, Sunfire Board, Cybernetic Implants, Wise Spending, and Trade Sector. Now let's get into our items, starting with our main carry, Seraphine. Spear of Shojin is core for mana generation, and Archangel's Staff will be your best damage item since it also improves her heal. Dragon and Jace help stretch fights out, so Archangel's is perfect to take advantage of that. Our last item we recommend is Morella Nomicon. Healing is rampant in the meta, so having this to debuff enemies will be great. These 3 are best in slot, but you'll do okay as long as you have Shojin and at least 1 AP item like Deathcap or Jeweled Gauntlet. Our secondary carry is Jace, who just wants a lot of defensive items. He does a good amount of damage on his own, so just keep him alive as long as possible. Items like Warmog's Armor, Bramble Vest, and Dragon's Claw are all great. Other options include Titan's Resolve and Gargoyle Stoneplate. Think of Orianna as a support carry. She's going to sit right next to your cornered Seraphine, so Banshee's Claw is a top tier item. Her ability will also be a big source of your damage, so 2 Chalice of Power round out her best items. Static Shiv and Zeke's Herald are also great options. Sunfire Cape is great for trying to streak early, which this comp excels at doing. Place this on an early frontline tanky unit like Singed. The only emblem we really want is Innovator, which isn't buildable, so go ahead and greed your spatulas for a Tactician's Crown. Now let's break down our strategy stage by stage. With almost all default comps, you can start the game with just about any units and look to either win streak or lose streak. The core Innovator units are Ezreal, Singed, and Zilean. You can build around them with traits like Scrap or Clockwork early game. Level up to 6 at 3-2 and build the strongest board you can with the units you find. Continue making your team stronger while picking up core units you find along the way. Having an Innovator Augment/emblem helps a lot here, as you can easily hit Innovator 5 before finding Seraphine with just a Heimerdinger. Level up to 7 at 4-1. If you need to stabilize, you should roll down a bit in order to find and build a strong team. If you're healthy or strong enough to hold off, wait until level 8 to roll down. Level up to 8 at 5-1 and roll down to complete your team. The positioning of this comp consists mainly of one frontline and one backline duo. Jace is the tankiest unit up front and should be backed by the mechanical dragon right next to him. Seraphine takes the corner spot with Orianna right next to her as additional support. Ezreal is in the opposite corner as bait for Blitzcranker assassins, and Singed is also close to the back to act as further assassin bait. Here's a simple early game board with Innovators plus Camille for Clockwork. That'll give you everything you need to know to win with our 7 Innovators comp. Remember, you can follow along with this guide in game with our TFT overlay, so make sure you download that and bring it with you into your next game.